Well, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. We're super excited that you have joined us this morning. We have something big to talk about here at Cribl. And I am so excited to be joined by Clint Sharp, whom you all know as our CEO and co-founder. And I am Abby Strong, VP of Marketing here at Cribl. And let's get this started. Clint and I are going to turn off our video so we don't distract you from the beauty of our webinar slides. Just a couple of things that go through before we get started. You have a Q&A panel in your Zoom. If you have questions for us, please feel free to type those in. Our amazing Senior Director of Revenue Marketing, Zena, is going to help us watch for those questions as we're presenting. And then we do have time for questions at the end. So feel free to type them in and we will make sure to address those as we get towards the end of our presentation. And so with that, if anything else is going on, there's also a chat panel that'll come to us as panelists. So feel free to put things in there if there's something wrong with the audio or the video, and we're watching that as well. And so with that, I'm going to kick this off and get this show on the road. All right. So as from an agenda perspective, Clint and I will be presenting this morning. We've got some new branding showing up. I don't know how many of you have visited us on our website recently. I've got a couple slides coming up on that, but we're super excited to talk to you about our new brand. We've got some additional big news we want to share, and of course, a product update that's coming along as well. So let's get this going. So what's new? All right. Well, so as we're looking at the Cribl logo, we've had this logo in place now for a little over a year, and we love this logo. A lot of people have come to know and love it. What we ran into with this logo is that it really reflects only one of our major use cases, right? As we take in a bunch of data, it allows us to consolidate it, trim out the extra, drop off all those null fields or duplicate events, and send it on to its intended destination. But as many of you know, especially as lovers of our Logstream product, that's just one of the many things that we do. And so as we started to think about what our logo should reflect as far as our brand goes, we really wanted to show off some of the additional things we do. So if we can flip to the animation here, we spent a lot of time thinking about how can we update this brand and really give it the panache and reflect what else we do here at Cribl. And one of those great things is taking in events from many different places as we continue to do, shape them, transform them, put them into the ways that we want it to look. But then we also, so that's where the triangle comes in. So we can take in all these events and we can consolidate them, send them where they need to go. But if you look in the negative space inside our logo now, it also shows that you can, not only are we that universal receiver, but we're also a universal router to many different destinations. So you don't have to choose just one. You can have all of the tools if you want them, and send your data into all of the places that you'd like it to end up. And so this new logo gives us a chance to really show off the beauty and the opportunity that you have using Cribl Logstream. So as part of that rebranding, we completely updated and overhauled our website. Please do take a moment if you get a chance after this webinar. Go visit us at cribl.io, and you can see all of the new resources and new updates that we've included in our website. And then one more click, please. And don't forget to look for a few of the Easter eggs, because we wouldn't be Cribl if we didn't decide to hide a few exciting and fun opportunities and features inside our new website. But this isn't the news that we wanted to talk to you about today. So if we flip to the next slide, we actually have a surprise in store. And that surprise is part of our announcement. And so Clint, with that, I'm gonna send it over to you.
Thanks, Abby. So as we're going on this journey as a company, we've been relatively quiet throughout the duration of the company. We haven't talked much about how we're funded or kind of our progress as a company, and that's changing today. So I'm really pleased to announce that we closed our Series B, backed by Sequoia Capital. Sequoia is a phenomenal brand and venture, and we couldn't ask for a better partner in Pat Grady. Pat Pat's led investments in Zoom, in Okta. He has a huge depth of experience in building legendary companies, high growth companies. And so we've raised $35 million in this round. You'll see some press today as we also start to do our first major press coverage in which we've not done before. We've been relatively a quiet company, and that changes as of today. And so we've raised $35 million. This was also joined by CRV, who led our C and our A round. Max Gazor at CRV has been on our board for the last couple of years, and also just a phenomenal partner and a great guy to get to work with. If you're not close to the startup world and you don't pay much attention to these announcements, what is money? Why do you raise money? Well, we raise money to grow faster. We believe that we have a unique insight into the market, and that we have the value that we're providing to customers. We can see it every day when we talk to customers like Autodesk and TransUnion, who are using our product and getting massive value out of it. And so we believe that many, many, many more people will be able to get value out of our product. And so as our fundraising efforts allow us to grow much faster than we'd be able to grow organically. So that means that we can hire more people, more customer-facing people, community managers, people who are going to be able to help explain the sales engineers, people who are going to be able to help you understand the value of what we do. If you're not already a customer, we can help guide you into becoming a customer by being able to grow faster than we'd be able to grow just off of revenue alone. Of course, this is not just for go-to-market initiatives. We're also going to use this to continue to expand our product portfolio, which we're going to talk a little bit more about in just a second. And so this will enable us to continue to hire really great engineers, people that are going to be able to continue to drive the innovation that we've been able to deliver to date. And so it's super exciting to be partnering with Sequoia. It's great to be working with CRV again. And why now? Best time to get money. We hadn't actually dipped into the last round that we had raised, but getting a chance to partner with Sequoia, getting a chance to really grow at probably 3 to 5 times faster than we were already planning to. Just means that we'll be able to get Cribl to more people. And so we're super, super excited about that.
So we're going to take a step back for a second and just take a look, in case you're joining us for the first time, or you haven't really spent a lot of time playing with Cribl Logstream yet. I want to take a moment and just really go through, what is an observability pipeline? And so as we take a look, there's really 4 major components to an observability pipeline. The first one is having complete control of your data. Any machine data. This is a purpose-built solution for logs, metrics, and traces. And we don't care what format they come in at. We're going to help you shape it to whatever data store where you want to send it. And we can also help you make that decision in real time so that you can choose between, do you need faster query? Do you need cheaper storage? Do you want to have the full fidelity copy? You have all of these different options. And as I said earlier, you don't have to choose just one. You can choose them all concurrently if you want to. It gives you lots of opportunity to have that independence organizationally in case different teams within your organization want to have different tools, but complete control of that data as it's coming in and the ability to manipulate it into whatever shape it needs to be. That platform independence is an important component of our solution. It's completely vendor agnostic. So whether you want to use one tool, all the tools, just a couple different tools, you can do that. And Logstream will help you manipulate that data into the different shapes that it needs to be to route it to all of those different destinations. And this allows you to have improved time to insight. This is a really important part because as you're thinking about, how am I going to start using all these additional tools? Do I want to have a SIM tool that's different from maybe an analytics tool that I'm using, or a different a storage capability that I have for my metrics? If I'm using a time series database or something, you can have all of these different types of databases in motion and you can have all of your data coming in. We will help you shape it. You can enrich it. You can add additional information to those logs as they're coming in, and have it ready for analysis, which allows you to have that time to insight, much shorter time to insight as you're sending it to those analysis tools. And then one of the biggest parts of an observability pipeline is that cost reduction element. There are so many duplicate logs and null fields and just extra information that gets sent along from all of these different devices that are sending machine data into your analysis tools. Why do you want to pay for that? There's no reason to analyze useless data. And so one of the great things that we can do is in real time, check to see what's coming in and then drop any of the information that you don't need to pay for to analyze. But don't worry. In addition to that, as I mentioned earlier, you can still keep a full fidelity copy off in cheap storage just in case something happens and you go, you know what, those really weren't useless fields. I actually do need them. We had a security breach or we had an incident. We need to go back and look at every bit of information that came in on this day at this time, and you have that flexibility. But that's what the observability pipeline really gives you the ability to do, is combine this vendor agnostic, platform agnostic solution to manipulate all of your machine data into the places where you want to send it. And so as we look at what that has happened, if we skip to the next slide, we've really spent, and I'm going to flip it over to you, Clint, but we've really spent a lot of time over the past 2 years building out what Logstream can do. And so, Clint, if you want to go through this for how it has evolved over time.
Yep. Thanks, Abby. Mm-hmm. So the product, is most people probably, if you followed us, know, we launched in October 2018 with our 1.0 product. Our 1.0 product line was mainly about adding processing capabilities. So it was a single node product that was sort of up to the customer to figure out how to scale it and how to manage it across multiple instances and multiple workers. And we're super grateful to our early adopters and 1.0 customers who really pushed the limits of that and helped us drive a roadmap that added, core capabilities that you're using today, like data preview, the ability to encrypt the data in motion. By 1.5, we had added support for the Splunk Universal Forwarder and syslog. We added support for logs to metrics conversions and aggregations in 1.6 and support for various metrics protocols as well. A year ago, we announced Logstream 2.0, and that was a massive milestone for us because it took the core processing capabilities that we have built and the highly differentiated UX, the data-centric ability to work with this data interactively, and we removed all the scaling limitations. So no longer do customers need to manage this on their own, figuring out how to deploy it in a distributed system and figuring out how to push configurations and how to do monitoring and how to do management. Logstream 2.0 gives you a central console where you can manage petabytes of daily volume. And we test this product regularly at 20 plus petabytes a day. And so that's been hugely successful for us. Customers are deploying this at hundreds of terabytes a day. They're routing to many, many destinations, all the sources and destinations that we support. In June, we launched 2.2, which added support for ad hoc data collection. So this is the replay capability that Abby's been talking about, the ability to easily grab data at rest in cheap storage. That could be an object store, that could be NFS, that could be anywhere where you're MinIO. We have great partners that offer all kinds of storage options. You can plow all your full fidelity data before you have to worry about how to structure it. You can take raw log data and spool it to cheap storage. And as of 2.2, our data collection capability allows you to run a replay job that says, hey, I only want from this time range, these source types, this set of data, and I want to grab that data at rest and I want to bring it back to the front of the stream and I want to send it to any destination that Logstream supports. And 2.2 is a great example of how we take a core set of capabilities and we get it to a point where it's valuable to a customer and we ship it. But that's also a base for which we build other technologies upon. So 2.3 followed very closely after, a few months after, with scheduled data collection. So now, in addition to being able to run large batch jobs to collect data at rest, because after all, S3 is just an API, we can now schedule these collections as well. So we can reach out to REST APIs, to places like Office 365, Activity APIs, We can run your own custom scripts. So this is a great way to be able to scale your own in-house built scripts and collection jobs to be able to run bash scripts, or hey, somebody in my organization wrote a Perl script recently. Like, that happens still too. You can go run anything at scale across a large number of systems, and we will handle the scaling for you. So we will handle mapping out each individual collection task to a worker node, running that, making sure that each of those tasks is successful or fails. And that includes the monitoring and management in the box that you need in order to run this at an enterprise scale. But I think one thing that you can probably notice if you're looking through the entire history of our product is that this is all for a downloadable on-premises product. And as of today, that's changing. So today we're announcing LogStream Cloud, and we're offering the full capabilities of LogStream as a product now as a service. So, why now? I mean, first of all, obviously the world is moving to the cloud. And we've seen this with great success. There are great cloud native companies like Snowflake and Datadog who've obviously shown us that the cloud has arrived. There's no longer a question of, are we going to be in the cloud? We're going to the cloud. But generally, when you're figuring out how to move machine data and move observability data, you're forced to make a number of compromises. The first is, well, maybe, I use the agents that my vendor ships me, but I use one for everything. And this is incredibly costly. It's hard to manage. And when you end up with what we call agent fatigue, where for every data collection task, my SIM, my log tool, my metrics tool, everybody has their own agent. And I have to manage each of these individually, even though a lot of times they're collecting exactly the same data. Or I might be able to find some open source agents that are slightly more open than my proprietary agents that my vendor has given me. But now I'm in the situation of having to stitch together on my own various things that mostly integrate, but really the whole burden is on me to figure out how to make these things work together. And no monitoring, no management, no central deployment. And also, a very config file driven user experience where you're kind of always guessing as to whether you got your configurations right and whether what works on your laptop is going to end up working well in production. And so LogStream Cloud allows you to stop compromising. You can use whatever agents from whatever sources you've already supported that can be delivered to any destination that we support. You don't have to run anything. So no downloading of on-premises agents, all completely hosted for you. So LogStream as a service gives us a number of benefits. One, it's easy to buy. And so self-service setup with a rich intuitive interface, the same LogStream UX that you've been used to using, now with an easy to use UX for spinning up clusters. It's also easy to scale. This is scaled dynamically for you. You don't have to understand the infrastructure requirements below the covers of what's actually happening under LogStream. We're managing all of that for you. And then it's on-demand pricing. So you're paying for only what you consume. So rather than buying an annual contract where you're trying to predict what you're going to be using now or what you're going to be using here in a few months, you can pay for only what you consume. So if today you ingest 100 gigabytes and tomorrow you ingest 50, you pay for 100 and then you pay for 50. So it's all completely fair and predictable based off of the usage that you're consuming. So for now, we're limiting this to up to 5 terabytes a day. It's really focused at users of existing cloud services: Elastic Cloud, Datadog, Logs.io, Snowflake, Splunk Cloud, Elastic Cloud. Anything that you're also using as a cloud service, we're now offering you a cloud service that makes it easy to get all the standard benefits of the observability pipeline, the ability to ingest data, eliminate waste, get rid of noise. And LogStream Cloud, just like our on-premises product, should pay for itself. There's tons of noise and waste in all of these services that you're using. So not only are you going to get the benefit of being able to enrich your data, reshape your data, send it wherever you would like it to go, we're also giving you now a completely hosted service. So you're getting all of these benefits, and for most customers, the amount of money you're going to save eliminating noise and waste will pay for all the benefits that you're getting above and beyond: routing to multiple destinations, enrichment, reshaping, et cetera. And all of this is a service without having to download any particular agent. And one thing that I've noticed is I've went to work with a lot of vendors' cloud products. They're phenomenal products. The Splunk Cloud or Datadog, Logs.io, all phenomenal products. But all of them require some sort of on-premises component. So if I want to simply do a webhook or post to a REST API, I have to download some set of bits that I now need to run. And maybe that's an agent on an endpoint, or maybe I end up needing to deploy that agent as a more centralized service. And so, yes, I have the benefit of the stateful service, where the data is going to rest is being hosted for me, but I still have a burden of having to install and manage a data integration agent that's going to make it to where I can get the data out of wherever I'm originating it to wherever it's going. And in LogStream Cloud, no longer. We host this for you, no on-premises components, and we're managing all that for you on your behalf. So you can start super, super small. Our goal is that we want this product to be valuable to anybody, whether you're a gigabyte a day or 2 gigabytes a day or 5 gigabytes a day, scaling into the terabytes a day, and eventually for our cloud product into the hundreds of terabytes a day. And we'll talk about the multiple editions and kind of how you should think about cloud versus on-premises here in just a second. Oh, right here. So LogStream Cloud today, completely self-service, on-demand pricing, hosted in our account. LogStream Standard and Enterprise, on-premises, download the product. You can work with our sales engineering team. You can pay by a monthly or annual subscription, run inside of your account. For larger customers, our on-prem offering is still the better offering, and really the only offering, simply due to egress charges in a lot of cases. So moving the data out of your VPC to our VPC starts to become very cost prohibitive. If you're going out over the internet, let's say it's between clouds, AWS, for example, will charge you 9 cents a gigabyte, which is a huge charge as you start to look at what we're actually going to be charging for that service. So for now, on-prem is your option if you are a larger customer. If you're sub 5 terabytes a day, LogStream Cloud is probably a really, really great offering for you, and we'd love to hear from you and get you into the early adopter program. In the future, we will also have a hybrid offering where we will be running the control plane in the cloud and the data plane on-prem. We'll keep you up to date on where that's coming. That's sort of the ultimate in the middle ground of cloud, where we'll still be running the master and all of the backups and the reliability and everything that you care about, that where we're managing configurations and all the stateful portions of our service in the cloud, but putting the data plane inside of your account or on-prem. So ultimately, we will be getting there, not there yet. So today, LogStream Cloud, completely self-service, on demand for you, sub 5 terabytes a day. If you want a hosted service, easiest way to get data into cloud. On-prem, we have LogStream Standard and Enterprise, and nothing has changed there in terms of our value prop. So, of course, let's talk about pricing. We've tried to make this a cloud-native pricing model, similar to other services that you consume either from your cloud providers like Amazon or next-generation services like Snowflake. The first is a base charge of $1 an hour. This covers our master node. This covers all the infrastructure that we're running on your behalf, and is the base charge for spinning up a cluster inside of LogStream Cloud. Data in is charged at 5 cents a gigabyte, and that's raw data. So this is not what's on the wire, but this is after we've decompressed or looked at the data, 5 cents a gigabyte. Data out, again, raw data before being compressed or other changes to the data, 10 cents a gigabyte on the way out. And we pass through the network egress charges. And the reason we do this is the economics of a cloud offering change significantly if you're paying 9 cents a gigabyte to egress the data versus a cent a gigabyte to egress it inside of your same region. So picking the right region for your cloud, where your cloud provider is also. So if you're sending data to Splunk Cloud or you're sending data to Elastic Cloud, making sure that you pick the right region where your data is going to reside that ends up residing permanently matters a lot for these pass-through charges. So we're not trying to make any money here. We're just trying to make sure that you also know what those charges are. If we hide them from you, then we'd end up having to raise the data out rates significantly to accommodate a wide variety of people who are either both sending to the internet or staying inside their VPC. So we decided instead to make that completely transparent and pass that through to the end user so that you have some control. For example, turning on compression will save you money. And so we wanted very much for people to not try to hide that from people. And lastly, because we believe this archive is such a critical capability, writing data to S3 is free. So right now we're launching only in AWS. Eventually we'll also include Azure Blob Storage in here. We'll also include the Google Cloud Storage in here. For now we're in Amazon only. And so we say S3, but really eventually it'll be all object storage. So data coming in that gets filtered, you pay for only the ingest rate. You pay for the 5 cents a gigabyte. Data that comes in and goes to the archive, again, you're paying only for ingest and to send the data to S3. Most use cases, we expect that the first use case will be bring data in, work to kind of control the data in the stream, enrich it, but also filter out, unused and wasteful log data. And so this is very well aligned to that use case. You're going to pay for what you ingest. If the data does not egress, you're not paying. So it's very closely aligned with what users we believe will be trying to solve with our new cloud offering. Cool. So wrapping up, what have we announced today? Logstream Cloud. It's the same benefits of our on-premises product now available as a cloud service. It is for sub 5 terabyte a day machine data streams. So if you're below that level and you're interested, the great news is it's free for 6 months. So as our early adopter program is coming out, we want to learn from you. And so while we have our pricing and people understand what it is, we're not actually charging for the beta program. So for the first 25 customers that sign up, we're offering Logstream Cloud for free. The only qualifying criteria is you need a production use case. And we want to be able to talk to you and learn from you. So it's a very high touch model for the beta program. We want to check in with you. We want to learn what you're doing. This is a huge win for us and for you that we'll be paying for all those charges and we get to learn from you. So if you're interested, please go to cribl.io/Logstream Cloud Beta, or you can find cloud from the product menu on the webpage and the sign up form is there. We'd love to speak with you. We will be getting back to all the people who sign up who are interested in the next few weeks. So do give us a little bit of time to work through our backlog of interest. And we'll be plowing through qualifying candidates and looking for people to get into the beta program. We expect for Logstream Cloud to be generally available around April 15th of next year, possibly before that, but the beta program is planned to run until April 15th. So wrapping up, and then we have plenty of Q&A. I see that there's my Zoom window is popping up and showing us that there's a lot of people with a lot of questions, and great. I'm looking forward to get into. Just a few resources for you. We've got a great new 1-minute intro video that launched with the new website. We've got our great Logstream reference guide that helps you understand what functions, which different sources and destinations we support, how to write JavaScript expressions. So really great guide. Please go check that out. We've just launched a new Getting Started guide. This is part of what I think you'll see as a result of the funding. Now that we're growing quickly and adding stellar new resources who are able to get to all the things that we wish we could have done over the last couple of years. We're writing great new things like Getting Started guides. And I think you're going to keep seeing more and more of that type of content, as well as more and more innovation coming out of the factory, delivering us great new features and great new products. We've also got some great new how-to videos and concept videos to help explain this inside of your organization, little 1 to 2 minute concept videos that help you understand the basics of what we've been doing with what you can do with Cribl Logstream. And of course, brand new website, so please check that out. And so with that, thank you very much. Abby and I are super excited to be hosting you this morning. I think now let us get into some Q&A.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you a lot of them are for you, Clint. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to keep you busy here. But I think the first one is one of the ones that's likely top of mind for a lot of folks, which is with the investment from Sequoia, do you anticipate any pressure to change our strategy or the product direction?
Yeah. So I think this is a pretty common misconception for people outside of kind of the startup world. So, of course, our investors, are smart people who will have ideas and things that they think are interesting. But ultimately, the management team runs the show. So when you're looking at a startup and you're saying like, oh man, why did they do this or why did they do that? The CEO and the management team decided. They're investors, they have opinions, but ultimately investors support the direction of the management team up until the point where they think that the management team isn't qualified anymore, and then they would replace the management team. That's what can end up happening in the worst case scenario. In the best case scenario, where we're at right now, our management team, they validated our direction. They invested in us because they believe in where we're going. We've shared with them our full vision of where we plan to take this company. And that's why they're so excited to be joining us, is because they get to see a little bit more than you guys do, because they get to see our plans for the next 3 to 5 years and where we're planning to go. And so it's a huge statement that people like Pat and Max have put their reputations on the line to say, hey, I'm going to join Cribl's board because we believe so much in their vision that we think they're going to be the next truly legendary company. So it's a long answer to say no. It's a validation of our strategy, not any change in. We've always planned to be the next major enterprise software company.
Right, and I'm realizing, Clint, that we could put our videos back on since we're talking again. But the next one, in fact, I'll give you a break from talking for a second, because one of the questions is, does this run in our cloud or our customer's cloud? And the easy answer to this one is actually both, whatever you choose. So we have that option. So there's already an option with the on-premises solution. Logstream proper is available to run either on your actual premises or in your VPC. And then the Logstream cloud solution runs in the Cribl cloud. So all of those options are available to you based on what you prefer. And then a question for you, Clint, is will this solution work with data other than logs?
Yeah, so we support metric data today. So we support your metrics protocols like Statsty and Graphite. You can point a Telegraph, Influx's Telegraph agent at us, for example. We support data off of event streaming platforms like Kafka and Kinesis, and that data can be arbitrarily shaped. It might be Avro, it might be new line delimited JSON documents, et cetera. So we support a lot of different types of data. But we focus on IT and security as a buying center. So it's not really the specific types of data that we support. We support all different kinds of data, but we're really focused on an IT professional and security professional's problems. And so what makes us different is that we support gritty, ugly, nested data structures where you've got, CSV embedded in Ceph, and you're trying to figure out how to get JSON out of the middle of some random log file. You can do that with our product. That's very different than kind of your standard streams processing engine. But of course, we support all of the standard kind of enterprise formats. And we focus as a persona on an operations persona, which is a little bit different than a developer persona. So a lot of streams processing engines focus on helping people develop a streams processing engine or use case for their enterprise, whereas we're focused on providing a solution to IT and security people to help them integrate a variety of different data sources in the observability and security space. So it's a nuance there, but that is what I think makes us so unique versus the rest of the market.
Absolutely. And another one I think I can handle for us. So is this an application that our customers can buy? Well, absolutely. You can buy it. That's ultimately our goal. But not only can you buy it out of the gate, you can also try it for free. So if you go to cribl.io/pricing, you'll see what our editions look like. But there are actually two different free models for you to try, depending on whether or not you want to send data to a single destination or to multiple destinations. There's varying per day terabyte limits for whether or not at what point that becomes a paid for model. So we do have all of the pricing is available to you on our website. We don't have any of that obscured. So feel free to contact us if you do have any questions. There are links within the pricing page for more details. And then, of course, as Clint was saying before, if you are interested in trying our new Logstream Cloud, there is an offer out there for the first 25 people who sign up with that link to cribl.io/logstream-cloud-beta. We are happy to work with you to offer that for free, as we're trying to learn from you as well. Another question that just came up, Clint, from a Logstream Cloud perspective is, do we support VPC peering or private link in AWS?
Yeah, so that'll be coming. It's beta. So the answer is we may, if that's a requirement for you, we'd love to talk to you. Part of the beta program is if you're interested and that's a requirement, please sign up and let's get back to you and chat about that. More likely, I'm thinking that's going to be in our hybrid offering, where I think an easier way to solve that is to give you a CloudFormation template where you can run the data plane in your account, and then the data never has to leave. For our SaaS offering, we would definitely consider VPC peering. We definitely consider a private link as well. So, please reach out to us. It's an option, although I don't think we have a firm answer. We just like to learn from people and see what they need.
Love that. Well, that's part of our customer first mentality. And so on the Logstream Cloud pricing, just to clarify, it is per day pricing rather than month or
Logstream Cloud, on-prem is per day. Yes. In cloud is pure consumption. So you're paying, if in cloud, if a gigabyte comes in, you pay 5 cents. If it goes out, you pay 10 cents. In our on-prem offering, it's gigabytes a day. And the reason why those differ is because in on-prem, we typically sell an annual contract. So we're really just trying to get a view on what consumption looks like so that we can come to reasonable commercial terms and sell you an annual contract. You're going to have a salesperson. We're going to go through a negotiation. It's going to go through your sourcing department, and we're going to sell you a contract. And so that flow works really well for enterprises who are used to buying software that way. In the cloud, we do things differently. I sign up, I push it through my cloud account, I pay completely on demand. And so depending on that's why we're so excited about cloud, because it gives us a completely different way to buy Logstream. In the past, you had to kind of go through this annual contract process. Now we're giving you the ability to buy it completely on demand.
That's great. And then I think we'll see a lot of this as we move forward, Clint, but just a couple of the questions that have come in are, have we thought about, what standards we're going to build to, such as ISO 27001, SOC, maybe how we're addressing GDPR standards. A lot of that has to do too with, where you host the actual software. So that you answer that.
There's so many things in cloud to answer, and that's why this is an early release, an early adopter program. Is if you have firm SOC 2 requirements, we'd still love to talk to you as well. And maybe you won't be able to get a production use case going in our cloud until we have those certifications. But absolutely, we know we're going to have ISO 27001. We know we're going to have to be SOC 2. We're not yet. By the time we go GA, absolutely, we're going to have that. And part of the early adopter program is learning, from our buyers, do you care about which of those SOC 2 controls? Do you just care that we have an opinion on SOC 2 controls? Are there specific controls that you want? We're really trying to learn from our customer base what's important to them, because obviously the more controls we add, the harder it is for us to comply, and it costs us more. So we want to be safe and secure, the right amount of safe and secure. And so we're trying to learn from everybody what's important to them.
That's great. So I really like this one because I know it's something that's come up a few times, even internally, which is, can you elaborate on what you meant by zero agents? How would you even collect data from sources without any agents installed, like the Splunk Universal Forwarder?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of ways to move data, right? So there are push mechanisms, there are pull mechanisms, right? So in a lot of cases, people are emanating data directly out of their applications or from a browser itself. So as an example, when you're in our sandbox, iPhone home data. I built the sandbox stuff, so we keep track of which page you've hit, so that we can see whether you're dropping off and things of that nature. A very logical thing for people who want to know what is going on inside of a product. And in order to do that, there's just a simple HTTP post that comes out of the browser and goes to Logstream, and then Logstream ends up sending that data on, in our case, to Splunk, because we use Splunk internally. That's a great example of applications emit data. They emit data over HTTP. They emit data sometimes just over raw TCP. There are pull-based mechanisms. So I may want to go scrape a REST API on a regular basis. So, some of the examples that we use is like just scraping the weather API and forwarding that on to somewhere else. There's lots of really great simple APIs out there that I want to scrape on an interval every 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I want to go out and grab some data and go put that into my log solution. I may have network devices that are emitting syslog that I just want to point at, someplace. Obviously, your security requirements may vary. We support TLS if you need to encrypt it over the internet, but if you want to send it in clear text, you can do that too. That it's your data after all, and your risk profile. So there's a lot of cases for agentless type data collection where there's not actually a log shipper agent. Now, that being said, Logstream Cloud also supports all of your existing shippers. So if you have a Splunk Universal Forwarder and you don't want to be running Logstream and you want to just point all of your existing on-prem agents as part of a cloud migration to our Logstream Cloud product, you can do that. And different than our on-prem product, now you don't have to run Logstream. That's all being administered for you, and it's all completely paid on demand.
That's great. So how much throughput can the base cluster ingest, and what is the scaling cost? So I know that's on the pricing page, but how about that?
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about infrastructure in our cloud offering. So the base cost covers master and a lot of the components that we have to use internal to AWS, other services that we're using in order to support the Logstream Cloud cluster. And then the infrastructure costs are covered as part of the ingress and egress, right? So we're scaling that behind the scenes in terms of how many CPUs you need in order to be able to run Logstream. So that's all being managed for you. So you pay us 5 cents in and 10 cents out, and how many ever CPUs we have to run to do that we're maintaining that and we're managing that.
Great. And so we had another pricing question, which I think I'm really excited for you guys to check out the new website so you can see some of this posted. But one of the things is, how does the pricing model work for on-prem implementations? Is it free up to 5 terabytes forever, or just for 6 months?
That's a great question. So we made our new freemium announcement in July. Nothing has changed there. Our Logstream, the downloadable product is free up to 10 worker processes, which we say is about 1 terabyte a day. You don't have to talk to us. You can just download and run that. Like, just go grab it, put it anywhere. Don't need to talk to us. The bits you don't even have to register on the website. You go to the download page, the link's right there. You'll grab the bits. There's registration in the product. We ask you to register so that we can keep track of you. That's the one thing that we ask as part of our on-prem offering is just, hey, please, let us know who you are so that we can get some basic telemetry from that. Logstream One, if you contact sales, we will give you a license for up to 5 terabytes a day to a single destination, Splunk or Elasticsearch. And that is designed to help us get inside of larger existing ingestion pipelines. What makes Logstream unique as a streams processing engine and the logging problem unique, period, is that you already have a logging pipeline. There's already agents that are forwarding data to your Splunk installation, to your Elastic installation. And use case number one is just get in the middle of that so that we can start providing value. I need to get the data that's maybe we're bringing in syslog, or maybe we're bringing in data from scraping APIs or whatever else. Whatever the first use case is, we just want to be able to get your existing agents passing through us, and then we can start to provide value. So the one license is there to help you try to get, we think we're a better syslog than syslog NG. We think we're better than a Splunk heavyweight forwarder. We think we're better than Logstash. And so if you have Logstash, if you have a Splunk heavy forwarder, if you have syslog NG, consider Cribl Logstream. Go download the product and you can use it for free. Now that's community supported. So if we have a great Slack community, you can come ask questions. We're always responsive. We're hyper responsive even. I'm there all the time answering questions. Our community is there answering all the time, asking questions. So you're going to get great support, but you can't call us on the phone, and you're not going to have the comfort of knowing that we'll hop on your bridge and help you out. LogStream Standard is the paid offering of Freer 1, and that has all the same features of Freer 1, plus comes with 8x5 support. And LogStream Enterprise has a multiple worker groups. It has role-based access controls coming in the 2.4 release here in a few months. That's the offering that the vast majority of our customers have paid for today. And now there's LogStream Cloud, which is the same sort of features available in the cloud. So kind of separate on-prem and cloud. I know there's a lot of different options, but you may be on-prem, you may be in the cloud, and so we have differing options for you depending on where you're at.
That's great. And there's a question that came in, is there a way to try LogStream and kick the tires? And absolutely, we've got a series of sandboxes posted on our website. Please feel free to check them out. Start with the fundamentals course. It walks you through how to configure LogStream and how it may help you with your data. And then, of course, as Clint was just saying, you can actually download the bits and try it yourself once you've learned how to configure it. And then there's multiple additional sandboxes if you want to go learn how to collect data from REST APIs, for example, or use it for additional use cases. And then, and we did get a shout out for the support on the community Slack. So we know the customers that are using it, we do love it. And we have an amazing community manager who makes sure that nothing gets dropped there. And then, what else do we want to go through? There's another question. Are we considering an enterprise hybrid type license? I think Clint touched on that already, but just as a heads up, absolutely. That's one of the next things that we'll be working on, so that you can use both the on-premises workers if you'd like, as well as the control up in the cloud. And that seems to be a common request, and we'll be continuing to build that out over the next few months. And then how does or how will Cribl work with open telemetry?
Yeah, great question. It's we're looking in some of our new data collection efforts, which we haven't released yet and coming for the future. We're continuing to work and innovate. We're looking to support their schemas, actually, just to map automatically to their schemas. You should be able to take OpenTelemetry data and pipe it through us in kind of the metrics area. In distributed tracing, we haven't added support yet for gRPC and their protocols. I have lots of opinions about gRPC. That's probably not appropriate for a webinar, but if you need that, let us know, and would love to work with you on getting that working. I think they're still in beta, so we haven't seen a lot of deployments in the wild. But if anybody's using that and they see the value and are interested in using LogStream with OpenTelemetry, you can hit me up in the community Slack, and we'll definitely go start looking into it.
Thank you. And then there's another good one here. So what cloud storage or cloud messaging services can we collect from with 2.3? And I will say first, there is a list. If you go to cribl.io/partners, a lot of the partners that we use as source and destination are listed there, just to give you an idea. But it is an extensive list, our exhaustive list, because, as Clint was saying, we can support a lot of different data types from a lot of different sources. Clint, do you want to call out any specific ones that seem to be quite popular with our solution?
There's a ton, but the most popular that we see is people just dropping files in an S3 bucket. We support being able to S3 as a bus is a pretty common pattern these days. People moving hundreds of terabytes or petabytes of data per day by just dropping files in S3 buckets. We support SQS-based notifications, and so it'll scale horizontally. LogStream will, in terms of just grabbing data out of S3 buckets. We support Kinesis. We support Kafka. We support Microsoft's Azure Blob Storage. We support Azure Event Hubs. So there's just a ton of different cloud services. If there's something that you don't see on the list, so check out our docs page as well. Haven't made a shout out for our docs page. We've got great docs at docs.cribl.io. Go check it out there. All of our sources and destinations are listed there. If you have any questions on them, check out in the community Slack. We'll be happy to answer them. And if there's something that you don't see, please let us know in the community Slack. In the community Slack, there's also a feature request channel. So if there's something that you see that isn't in the product, pretty much post something there and we'll put it in Jira and we'll at least consider it. I can't guarantee it'll be in the next release or anything, but we take everything that gets posted to that channel and we make sure that somebody gets a chance to look at it in triage.
Awesome. And I think we've got time for one more. Will you provide in the future uploading data directly to Cribl manually or to Logstream?
Curious on the use case. I mean, there's like right now, the way that I tend to do that is just, cat the file, pipe netcat, and send it over a TCP port. So like, there's just a ton of different ways to send data to us. You can also upload samples through the web UI. But if there's a use case for, hey, I want to just be able to post some data to the front of an input, you can kind of do that with a sample today, because then you can send a sample through a pipeline. But hit me up. Let's find out what the use case is, and would love to consider it.
Yeah, and in case we missed any of the questions, guys, because I know they're coming in fast and furious, and I'm trying to catch them as they're flying by. If we didn't catch it in this webinar, we will get a copy of these afterwards, and we will follow up with you. I know there's a few more about compliance and things that we'd love to chat with you about. And I know we've mentioned it a few times, but please do take a moment, join us in the Cribl Slack. It's cribl.io/community. You can sign up there. We'll immediately send you an invite, and then check us out. Come in and ask your questions. As Clint was saying, you can post feature requests, but we're all there waiting to talk to you, and just super excited about all of the news that we had to tell you today. And hope you enjoy this webinar. If you do have more questions, you know how to find us. And just say thank you so much for your time this morning. And yeah, thank you, Clint, for all the answers. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.